First introduced at CES 2019, Corsair's Capellix LEDs have found their way into a few products since then, most notably their Dominator Platinum RGB memory kits. Now we have our hands on the latest Corsair product to feature these RGB LEDs, the H150i Elite Capellix liquid CPU cooler. Bringing 33 precision RGB LEDs to the pump head equates to highly customizable and smooth lighting options. Paired up with a 360mm radiator and three 120mm ML120 RGB PWM fans, this cooler stacks up quite nicely on paper. Does its performance match its aesthetics? Follow on to find out. Hi everyone, Hani Habi here. Welcome to another video. If this is your first time here, please go check my other videos. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Are you ready? Let's begin. Corsair's new H150i Elite Capellix is creating a bit of buzz, but not just for the reasons you might initially think when we mention the words new I/O cooler. The H150i Elite Capellix's performance aligns well with other 360mm I/O coolers in the marketplace. And Corsair adds value by including a Commander Core Hub control module that provides system builders the flexibility to extend control and management of their PC beyond that of the cooler. Similar modules from Corsair cost about $75 on their own. That makes the H150i Elite Capellix a surprisingly solid value for those already invested in iQ devices or those willing to take the leap for great cooling and simple integrated system monitoring and control. Oh, and the Capellix RGB lights on the pump look good, too. The Corsair H150i Elite Capellix comes equipped to support AMD AM4, Threadripper TR4, Gen 1 and 2. As well as the new Threadripper STRX4 socket. On the Intel side, the H150i Elite is compatible with Intel 1200, 115X, 2066 and 2011X. Also included is an extra, interchangeable Corsair logo faceplate, interlocking mounting brackets and typical retention hardware. A Commander Core RGB, fan, pump control module rounds out the accessory list as a welcomed addition for users hoping to add a bit more control to their system. The top of the H150i Capellix features only the Corsair logo as part of a clear top with opaque backing. Behind the face, 33 RGB LED lighting nodes sit in wait to provide the color palette to match your system scheme. A pair of 90-degree swivel fittings allow for adjustment and orientation of the nylon-sleeved tubing for the cooler. The interchangeable faceplates are easily swapped using the included hex key and 4 set screws, with each top providing a different pattern for RGB lighting to shine through. The base of the H150i Elite Capellix features a brushed copper cold plate which arrives with a patch of pre-applied thermal compound. The inside of the cold plate makes use of a set of dense, micro-skived cooling fins to the tune of 128 fins per inch. Pump control and management exists as a multi-pin connector cable and 3-pin power, TAC header. The multi-pin cable connects to the Commander Core control module for pump management and RGB control. The cooling plate of the H150i Elite Capellix is only just slightly convex, which allows for thermal paste contact to spread evenly when the cooler is being installed. A consistent contact patch is easily achieved when evenly tensioning the mounting screws in a typical X pattern, which is recommended for nearly every CPU cooler install, liquid and alike. The Commander Core module is similar to Corsair's Commander Pro, but is focused primarily on the H-series pump management by use of the multi-pin connector. A set of 6 each PWM and RGB headers adorn each side of the Commander core module, which provides enough expansion for a few other Corsair fans or RGB components. The core module pulls power from a SATA 12V connection, while data is interfaced to a motherboard 9-pin USB header. A trio of 120mm ML120 RGB fans provide the delivery of cool air over the H150i Elite Capellix 360mm radiator and are rated up to 2400 RPM. Fan speeds are managed via 4-pin PWM, whereas the 8 LEDs per fan are handled by a 4-pin Corsair RGB clip connector. The Corsair H150i Elite Capellix uses of a 360mm aluminum radiator for a large thermal exchange surface area. Having this extra volume allows for the cooler to effectively discharge more heat during sustained processing, while also allowing for optimized performance curves to make use of lower fan RPMs and quieter operation under light loads. Installation of the Corsair H150i Elite Capellix is relatively straightforward, provided your chassis has the room to support a 360mm I/O cooler. Setup of the Commander core control module requires only minor planning to provide enough space for fan and lighting connections, as well as SATA power. Usage and setup of iCUE is relatively easy for new users, although I always recommend reading the included documentation as well as FAQs and information on the company website. iCUE provides the capability to manage fan and pump performance profiles, RGB lighting options, as well as hardware and system management with logging. If you are familiar with other Corsair iCUE product setups, the Commander core configuration for the H150i Elite Capellix should come quite naturally. I evaluated the Corsair H150i Elite Capellix with other 360mm performance I/O coolers, the NXZT Kraken Z73, Cougar Hella 360 and Cooler Master Liquid ML360R RGB. The Corsair H150i Elite Capellix performs within mere decimal points of some of the best 360mm I/O coolers I have tested. This bodes well for users seeking performance liquid coolers, as there are some great options, each of which provide a bit different feature set and price point. Fan speeds vary somewhat for each of the coolers in the testing group, while pump RPM is a bit more consistent. Fan RPM often dictates relative noise levels, and we see the Corsair H150i Elite Capellix edges past the others in the testing group in terms of recorded decibels. Evaluation of thermal performance and noise levels provides us with a chart that determines how effective a cooler performs as a function of acoustic efficiency. A combination of good thermal performance and noisy fans can negatively impact effectiveness just as much as a quietly operating cooler might exhibit while experiencing higher thermal load temperatures. Performance value takes unit pricing into consideration while maintaining the previous acoustic efficiency rating. Priced at $180 at release, the Corsair H150i Elite Capellix is actually a solid value in the 360mm performance segment when compared to some of its peers. While this comparison between coolers of the testing group might be attractive as is, don't forget the added usefulness of the Commander core management module and the ability to manage fan curves and RGB lighting for 3 additional fans or devices supporting Corsair iCUE. Compare this with the CPU thermal load differences at the same speeds, and it's evident that the H150i Elite Capellix easily can operate at lower fan speeds with a balanced performance curve to better manage decibel levels. The H150i Elite Capellix itself is no cooling slouch, as the Corsair Performance I/O easily keeps pace with some of my best-rated 360mm coolers. Toss in the added benefit of having the Commander core unit to manage pump speed, PWM fan curves, logging, alerting and monitoring as well as RGB lighting, and you have an excellent liquid cooler setup in the H150i Elite Capellix, plus the ability to manage a few extra Corsair case fans. While this does nudge users to expand their PC horizons by utilizing the Corsair iCUE and RGB ecosystem, it still makes a compelling argument by providing centralized management of the H150i Elite Capellix cooler as well as additional components. Power users want full control of their systems, and the ability to have a simplified, centralized setup with granular administrative control is always an appealing option. I guess, you guys are waiting from me to tell you if you should buy this CPU cooler. Okay. This is my final thoughts. Once again, Corsair has another great product on their hands with the iCUE H150i Elite Capellix. With a newly designed pump block, we find a brand new look with a few tweaks along the way. The larger pump housing allows a little extra room for the low noise pump and the split-flow copper CPU plate. With a crazy 33 individually addressable RGB LEDs, there are limitless possibilities for customization using Corsair's iCUE application. The 360mm radiator is one of the thinnest I have seen at just 27mm, but a good fin density ensures adequate airflow for maximum heat dissipation when paired up with the three 120mm MLRGB series fans. Installation in my Intel system was very straightforward, and the inclusion of mounting hardware for a variety of Intel and AMD platforms ensures that this system is compatible with a wide variety of systems. My overall impression of the Corsair iCUE H150i Elite Capellix has been very favorable. The build quality of the system is top-notch, and while this I/O didn't top the charts, the performance is impressive as well. 3 offerings are available in the Elite Capellix lineup, and the H150i Elite Capellix is currently available for $189 directly from Corsair and Amazon in the links in the description below. At that price you can't complain too much about the cooler, especially when you consider you are getting 3 RGB fans, as well as a pretty nice controller to go with it. The iCUE H150i Elite Capellix is a great new design for Corsair, and earns a 9 out of 10. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. Please don't forget to support the channel by subscribing and sharing. See you guys next time. Peace.